Okay, so everyone ready? So what we're going to do the first time around is I'll have you answer the first question and then pass the microphone, and we'll start with Dalton. So the first question that I'll ask is, first tell us your name, tell us the grade that you're in, how long have you been in Mason City Schools? Have you been here your whole life, or you just moved in? And then maybe one thing that you're involved in, whether it's a club or a sport or just a hobby that you're involved in.
Okay, my name is Dalton Craven. I'm a 12th grader at Mason High School, and one thing that I'm involved in is Mason Hack Club, which is one of the computer science clubs at the high school.
I'm Taylor Kling. I'm a senior at Mason High School as well, and I've been here my whole life. One of the things I'm involved in is academic team.
My name is Joseph Washington. I've been in Mason my entire life, and one of the things I'm in is the band program.
Hi, my name is Sophia, and one of my things that I'm included is a club with my friends.
My name is Eliana. I'm in 4th grade, and one of the things I'm involved in is soccer. Oh, and I've been in Mason for my whole life.
I'm Elisa. I'm in 4th grade, and I've been in Mason for my whole life. And one of the things I'm involved in is skating.
All right, let's give them just a hand for being up here tonight because they're so great. Thank you so much. So you know who our panelists are. They're from different grade levels. They've been here most of their life, so they have experience, more experience than I have here in the district. And so it's good to hear their perspective. The first question that we have for you, and you can answer this, you can pass, we'll just kind of go through this, is has the size of your school or one of the schools that you've been a part of, has it impacted you at all? And if it has impacted you, good, bad, or ugly, how has it impacted you? Okay, so we have really big schools. How has it felt going through those? We want to talk a little bit about that. And I'll start with Dalton, then you can pass it along. And if you don't have an answer right now, just pass it right on. That's no problem.
I think that one of the biggest things with being in a big school is the fact that there's a lot of diversity between the student body. So every year, every class I'm in, there's always new people to meet, different perspectives to kind of get a read on.
I would say being a part of such a big school my entire life has impacted me, but I would say more of a negative way. It wasn't until high school when I really started getting involved in anything, and up until then, and even throughout high school, it still kind of feels like you're just a number and you're just your grade and the score you got on the ACT and everything.
I think that school has impacted me. So I was in 8th grade, and it has a lot of opportunities in it, and a lot of different clubs and classes, and so it gave me the opportunity to invest my time into something that I'm interested in and something that I would enjoy.
There's like two places to go to the gym. One is the easy way, one is like confusing me.
I would say it has impacted me. I kind of agree with Dalton. It's like you see new students like every year and you kind of don't recognize them and you don't know them.
It has impacted me because every school year in the classroom there's like new people, and sometimes I'm not with my friends and I have to start all over again with making new friends. It's good, but sometimes it can be bad.
Excellent answers. And if I sum up some of the things I heard, one, and Sophia, I think I'm right with you on that. There's an easy way to the gym, and there's a confusing way to the gym. And Mr. Cooper has been wandering around that MECC building before. Is that the one you're talking about, MECC? Yeah. But the nice thing is they put colors on the ground for me to follow. That does help a little bit sometimes, but I get it. I've been turned around. And then I heard a little bit about, it does feel like you're starting over with a lot of new faces and new friends, which there's good things about that, and then there's also challenges with that because sometimes it takes time to build relationships. And so when you end a year and then you start over and it's all new faces, that could be a challenge as well. And then I heard that there's also great opportunity to be a part of all kinds of great things and to be a part of a diverse culture, which brings in opportunities as well. And then would you say it was easier in high school to connect, or it just took longer to connect overall with people? Did I get that right? I don't want to speak for you.
I would say in high school it got a lot easier to find connections just because there were so many more clubs you could get involved in, and a lot of kids do get really involved in their clubs. But I would also say that as you get into high school, there is more of a disconnect because once you start worrying about college applications, everything is about numbers and being in clubs just because it looks good on your resume, not necessarily because you care. So it can kind of go either way. It's both positive and negative, and I feel like that's something we just need to work to find the balance with.
And I think Taylor is, you're touching on a topic that we discuss a lot as a leadership team right now is what are we chasing after? We just had that conversation recently. Are we chasing after GPAs? Are we chasing after Val-Sal? What are we chasing at? What really matters in our community and what's really going to set you up for the global economy to be successful? And so those are the things that we're challenging ourselves as a leadership team, challenging our community, and that's why we're here. So I think you're hitting right on that. Okay, the next question. You ready? Next question is, how about I do this? I'll ask 2 questions, and you can either answer both of them or just answer one of them. Does that sound okay? So it's describe when you feel most connected to your school. So something the school is doing that you feel most connected. It could be, one of my favorite things is sock day. You know, you fun socks, and you feel connected with people because you're all wearing fun socks. That's just a funny example. But when do you feel most connected to your school? And then another question you could answer, or answer both, when do you feel most connected to your friends? Okay, so one is about just school in general, and one is more just about friends. Do you want to start us off this time?
So when I'm most connected to my school, I feel like I really like the reading challenge stunt because it's fun. It's not boring assembly. It's fun, exciting, lively. And when I feel close to my friends is I really like lunch because in the classroom you can't really talk or then you'll get in trouble. So the lunchroom you can talk and you eat, which is amazing too. And most of my friends are in Act 2, and I can also talk to them during Act.
I feel most connected to my school when there's when you're in an assembly, like Elisa said. It's just when you're with your school and you have that type of fun assembly. It's just, yeah.
I get most connected with my friends when you get recess because you get to play with them.
I get most connected with my friends with the band program because there's the same amount of people that I see every year and the same teachers which I get to connect to and build a relationship with.
I feel like I feel most connected with my school when they try to have different campaigns that bring the student body together, whether it's through Spirit Week, around homecoming, or different things like Pasta for Pennies, when we can all rally around a common goal.
I think that one of the times I feel most connected with my friends is in the extracurriculars because that's when you really kind of fall into line with people that think similarly to you and have similar interests. So.
Okay, one final question that we have for the panel, and then if you have any questions that you would like to ask the panel, you have an opportunity to ask a couple questions, and then we're going to ask you to do a little bit of work with some of the things that you've heard, but also to dig into that. So the last question is, if you had advice for us to help us as a school district, as leaders, as parents, as a community, to design Mason City Schools in a way that does feel smaller, making big schools feel small, feeling more connected, focusing on those relationships or whatever that means to you when I say big to small. Do you have any advice for us? Any ideas, things that you've thought of, or you could say, boy, it would be nice or it would have been nice if they would do this or consider this. Does that make sense? So give us some ideas, and then we'll open it up and see if there's any questions from our audience tonight.
I think that during the school day, one thing that we could do to kind of make it feel smaller is have more of a social aspect to, we do homerooms sometimes, but mainly our homerooms are just kind of administrative, or there's some like activities, but it's mainly just kind of informational given to you. So I think maybe doing more homerooms would be an opportunity to socialize with people and kind of get a tighter community.
I would say that making more of an effort to have students connect with their administration. I know that I have a very good relationship with my counselor, but I know a lot of my peers who don't have good relationships with their counselor, and they feel like they don't even know who they are, just know them as a number and a transcript that they have to send to another college. So I feel like if, while part of this is on the students, the administrators need to make more of an effort so we can build relationships with each other, and I feel like everyone will feel more heard that way, and like they're getting a lot out of their high school experience.
This year, the 8th graders got split into 2 different buildings, and so I lost a couple of my friends, but also kind of built a more bigger connection with the friends that I had in my school, in which we could socialize. And since there was a small amount of people at my school, I could really get to connect with them and create more of a relationship.
What was the question again? I don't know. To have more like fun places to have like arts and crafts and stuff.
Today in school, my teachers wanted to know what I was gonna like say about how to make a big school feel small, and so they asked the class for me. And one of the ideas they said was if you got to like choose what time you do like math and reading and language arts and that type of things. So if you were on a team, you would choose like what time you go to math and science, or if you were in like higher grades, you would like choose what thing you do each period.
I think having more like fun assemblies, like the stunt, would be really cool because like the whole school's there and they're like all connected and they're like cheering for their like teachers, and it's all really fun, and like I feel connected to the school.